So what we're going to be looking at is covalent nomenclature here. Covalent compounds are composed of nonmetals or metalloids and nonmetals. And basically, it's a very simple approach to actually performing the nomenclature. The first thing you need to make sure is that you're writing the least electronegative element first, plus the most or the more electronegative element, and you're going to change the ending to IDE. Now, prefixes are going to be what indicates the number of each type of atom present. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to name the first element in that formula, the least electronegative element. You're going to use any appropriate prefixes that are necessary. You're going to name the second element in the formula, the one that's the least electronegative element, and you're going to use any prefixes needed. And we'll look at a few examples here. Before we get into any additional examples, though, I do want to point out some of the prefixes that you must be familiar with. So mono refers to 1, di refers to 2, tri refers to 3, tetra refers to 4, etc. So these are going to help us with our nomenclature as well as our formula writing. So if we look at this formula here, we have BF3. Okay, boron is the least electronegative element in this covalent compound. Fluorine is the most electronegative element, so it's written in its proper form. Remember that the subscripts are going to be telling you how many of each atom type you have. So in this case, the subscript is going to be the prefix in the nomenclature procedure. So the least electronegative element gets first. Boron gets written first. Okay, the prefix tri is what we're going to use because tri refers to 3, and there's 3 fluorine. So boron tri, fluor, and then IDE. So we've named the least electronegative element, used a prefix to indicate the number of the most electronegative element, and added an IDE ending. Now, I also want you guys to notice that we did not use mono for the boron. We did not say mono boron trifluoride. We never use mono to indicate anything about the first element. If there's only one of them, it's assumed that by just writing the name, boron or oxygen or whatever else is that first element, we assume if there's only one of them, then we've indicated it by just indicating the element name. If there were 2 of them, it would be diboron trifluoride. If there were 3 of them, etc. So let's do some practice. Okay, so this first example here, NO. Okay, so nitrogen is the least electronegative. So nitrogen monoxide. Okay, as the example we got here, we have nitrogen. There's 2 oxygens, so it's dioxide. Okay, notice once again, guys, I am not using the mono prefix on the first element. Okay, dinitrogen monoxide. Carbon monoxide. Sulfur difluoride. Okay. Sulfur dichloride. Okay, so we have phosphorus tribromide and boron trifluoride. Okay, so guys, remember when we're doing nomenclature for covalent compounds, when we're going from formula to name, okay, remember we do not use the mono prefix on the first element, the least electronegative element. We do use the mono and any of the others throughout the second answer or the second portion of the nomenclature formula, and we add that IDE ending to all of them. The prefix, guys, the prefixes are being dictated by the subscripts we see here. Notice we have mono here, there's only 1 oxygen. We have di here, there's a 2 down here for your oxygen, etc. So these are the little hints and details. So let's go ahead and let's look at going from names into formulas for ionic compounds. So boron is the least electronegative, so boron. There's no indication that there's any more than 1 right? Because there's no mono and there's also no di, tri, etc. So there's only one boron. And we know that fluorine is going to be the other element, and there's actually 3 of them because it's trifluoride. Okay, same thing here. We have neon. Okay, neon all by itself. Once again, fluorine. Okay, hexa is going to give us a subscript of 6. Okay, dinitrogen. Okay, so that tells us that I have 2 nitrogens. Pentoxide, so it means that I have 5 oxygens. Okay, and then silicon, tetrafluoride, boom. Okay, so remember, these prefixes tell you how many of each of that atom type you have. It's a very straightforward approach. It's much easier than ionic nomenclature, but you get the gist.